It looked like he stepped away.
Levitt, Gemora.
We'll be back. Bez Hashem. Oh.
Good morning.
Okay, we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Where do we go from? First Rashi on Tes Amud Beis. Oh. Okay, so. Okay, so. Oh, it looks like we didn't finish the Rashis on this. There's Rashis on the top of Tes Amud Beis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's go. We'll start with the first Rashi. Whatever it's talking about, I don't know, but we'll read the words.
Okay. If it's in the Rishus of Rabin, he acquires it. Okay. Here, in a city, the derech l'recho, because that's the way to ride sham there, the lo lahanhig, but not to lead it. And yifsoku, there maybe will stop the Ovrei Drachim, the workers on the roads. They know ulebein between him and his animal.
Not workers, people who are going along the way. And Yipsiku Obrei Drachim, Beno Lebein Behemto. Okay, so what is this saying? Not really sure. What's it responding to? What's the question? It's an answer. It's whatever it is. What is it? What's going on over here? Yeah. Okay, so anyway, what do the words say without understanding what it's talking about? If it's in Rishus Rabim, he will be Kona the animal, the ear, in the city. Because why? Because Derek Lirkov Sham. It is the way to ride over there. Malola Hanhig. But not as opposed to leading the animal. Because he doesn't want to lead the animal while he's walking along on the road himself, because that's going to. Rashi says that could involve other people over Drachim that are also walking along the road. They'll get entangled between him and his animal. So he doesn't want that to happen. He doesn't want to get entangled. So what does he do? He rides the animal. Then nobody's going to get entangled. That's what he does. So since that's the since that's the accepted way to do with an animal in the Rishus Rabim, he'll become it, even in the ear. Oh, okay, fine. And the next Rashi, he adam chashuvu. We go to Lu.
He Adam Chashavu. He is a distinguished person. Ein darcho lahanhig v'hema v'raglav v'derech kavod v'rchov alei af besamta she'ein b'nei adam sham v'chein isha she'ein ba koach v'achos habehema hen tin kas tin tak hayamana. It's not the way to ride an animal with his feet.
He, not lahanhig, to lead the animal. To lead the animal raglov with on foot.
It's not the way to lead the animal on foot.
For someone who's an adam chashuv, a important person.
The derech kavod, and it's the way of honor, the rechov in the street, alei for him.
Derech kavod aleha, and it's a way of kavod for him lirkov aleha, to ride on it, as opposed to leading it on foot.
Af besamta, I don't know.
Af besimta, even in a like a small path or alley.
Even in an alley, she'ein b'nei adam sham, there's no people there. V'chein isha, and similarly with a woman, she'ein ba koach, that she's not strong. Le'achuz, what's le'achuz?
To hold on to maintain control over.
To hold on to habehema, the animal. Pen tin kas tin tas tin tak hayamena. What's tin tak?
Lest the animal extricate himself from the and run away.
Extricate.
Yeah, from the word nituk, to disconnect. We're worried that since the woman doesn't have the strength to maintain a proper hold on the animal, if she is going to be leading it on foot,
so there's
because the animal will get will undo itself from her hold over it through the bridle or whatever that she's using to lead it on the way with.
So an Adam Chashuv, he's going to ride because of his honor, and a woman is going to ride because of her strength or lack of strength.
Right. Right. Okay. And in the next case, we're describing over here, by the way, the Gemora is bringing different cases, different people, where we say that their way is to ride the animal even in the city. If they're in any one of these categories. And the next one is the Inish Zila Hu Koni. Back to Phil.
Okay, if it's too loud over here, because I got construction here, let me know. The E, I'm trying to read, Enish, you want me to read that one?
Yeah.
Zula?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, if the people is a Zulahu, a person who is not a not good person, he still acquires it. He does acquire it, even if the person's a minimal person, a person who's not so great. Shadar Ko, the way Lirko, the way to ride, Lifnei call off in front of everybody, below Dochek, without any being pressed. Lafi she'enu tsenua, because it's not sneistic, it's not proper. Aval Adam, but an average person could go she'enu chashu, that's not chashu. The Osher, he's I mean, Osher is chashuv, not in terms of chashuv, in terms of wealth, I guess, is Osher though. The Enu Boosh, and he's not an embarrassment person. Holich Abeba, to lead the behema, Iragwav, with his feet. Ain Darko, that's not his way. Lirkov, to ride.
Yes.
And I don't know if this part of it, the chov, the simtot in an alley, the ear in a city, mishum, because sneot, because of it's not sneistic to ride in the alley. So we were actually dividing three types of people here. You know, one is the low, what we call a low life, a chashu person, and the average person, the Benoni person. So the question is, each one is a different, whether who rides or doesn't ride.
Yeah, that's right. So you have an interesting situation. You have the two people that are going to be riding are the opposite the pole of the spectrum. Either he's a very chashuv, he's an important person. That's why he's riding. It's not honorable for him to just go on foot leading the animal. So that's what he does. And then you have the person who's the Inish Zila, which is the Gemora's way of saying like an unrespectable individual, disrespectful, whatever you want to call him. So he's the exact opposite of the respectable and important, distinguished person. He also is going to be riding all over the place, whether it's in the Rishus Harabim, or whether it's in the, like everybody else does in Rishus Harabim, we said, by the way, or even in the Simta. Simta is an example of a place which is not a Rishus Harabim. There's not people there hardly at all. And nevertheless, he's going to be riding over there. Why? Because he doesn't have any sneers. Whereas the Beinoni, the average man in between him, he's not a distinguished or an important person, but he is a respectful, a respectable person. He's not an Inish Zila. He also will not ride. He'll be the only one. He'll be the only one who won't be riding in the Simta. He'll be the one who'll be leading the animal. Because of why? Because he is Sanua. Okay. And so these are all the what are we saying these categories here for? Because if it's the derech for that type of a person based upon his classification in society to ride on the animals, then riding will be a kinyan for him. And if it's not the derech, in other words, for example, like this Beinoni, if he would be riding for whatever reason, he would not make a kinyan in the because it's not the derech for him to do so, and so therefore, whether there's a kinyan is very complicated, isn't it? Okay, and with that we conclude that section, and now we go back to the Gemora. Boy, Rebbe Elazar, and we call upon Alan to start the reading of the Gemora.
Alan, you're muted.
Oh, Alan, are you there? Please unmute.
Alan, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay, back.
Thank you.
Okay. 9B1 left on top.
Yes, 9B1 left-hand column.
Okay.
The Rabbi Eliezer poses a query.
Okay. Rabbi Elazar posed a query. Boy, Rabbi Eliezer inquired Chomer Vero, if a seller says to his fellow, the buyer, Mishoch Bemor Zu Liknos Kevin Lehla, draw this animal near in order to acquire the utensils that are on it. Mahu. What is the law? Is the act of drawing near performed to the animal effective for acquiring the utensils? Draw questions of query as presented. Liknos. Do you really mean that the seller said, draw this animal near in order to acquire the utensils? Me or Mar, Lay, Kane, but in that case, did he ever tell him acquire the utensils? Since the seller did not expressly tell the buyer to acquire them, the buyer certainly does not acquire them. Gemara rephrases Rabbi Eliezer's query. Ella, rather, Rabbi Eliezer inquired, Mishoch B'Hemor Zu, if a seller says to a buyer, draw this animal near, Kalim She'ol and acquire the utensils on it. Mahu, what is the law? Gemora explains the essence of Rabbi Elazar's query. Mi hanigua mashichor adivhemor. Is drawing near the animal effective? To acquire utensils, olo or not? The Gemara leaves Rabbi query unanswered. Rabbi Elazar in his query referred specifically to a case in which only utensils on the animal are being sold, not the animal itself. This implies that where both animal and the utensils are being sold, there is no doubt in Rabbi Elazar's mind that drawing the animal near serves to acquire the utensils as well. Is this assumption implicit in Rabbi Elazar's query that Rava now challenges?
Okay, let's see the Rashi on Rabbi Elazar's query, his question. Who's the last one that read? Phil read the last one, so we go back to Lou.
All right, we're up to Meshuch.
Yes, Meshuch.
Meshuch v'hema zu al minas likros kelim sha'alei. Draw the animal in order to acquire the utensils. The mekach umachor mochar lo es hakelim velo es habehema. In buying and selling, in business, he mochar is to sell.
Yeah, mochar is the seller.
Sells to him the utensils and not the animal.
Right. So Rabbi Elazar's question is focused, according to Rashi, in a business setting. It's not as opposed to, for example, that he found the animal there. It looks like it's a heifer, let's say. So would he be able to? We're not talking about that case. We're talking about a case of mekach memkar. So therefore, we have a mocher, and Rashi saying the mocher is willing to sell him the kalim, but not willing to sell him the behemoth. So what will be the din? How will he acquire these kalim? They're on the animal. So how do you acquire the kalim? They're on the animal without acquiring the animal. Is there such a way? Is there such a way to do that? Can you do it? Mahu, that's the din. That's the question. Okay, so now the next Rashi.
Next Rashi is me kama play kani. To acquire what is it saying that he acquires? Lead note. I don't know if lead note is to buy necessarily. Mashma means ata hitechein lead note what he intended to buy. Ani Aini Mikanedis, I'm not going to acquire for you.
Liknos mashma ata hitkavein liknos ani eini matna lecha. Oh, the Gemara is questioning. Lik knows that this person wants to acquire it. But Miyamalek Kane. Did he say? Did the Moker say? Acquire? Make an acquisition? Rashi says, in other words, did the seller, the owner of the kalim, who's supposedly selling them, did he say to the buyer, can he, in order to did he tell him make an acquisition on them? Lignos, in order to acquire them, explains Rashi. Mashma ata hikavein lignos. Mashma, says Rashi, he hears from this story that he's saying that the moker is saying to the seller, ata hikavein lignos. You're the one that has intention to acquire these kelim. Ani, but as for me, hey, makne lecha, I'm not giving you the wherewithal to make a kinyan in these animals, rather in these kalim. Any makne lecha, the owner of the kalim, he's got to have das to allow the buyer to make a kinyan in that which the owner owns. He has, in other words, he has to have the intention to sell them, right? Rashi seems to be saying that the Gemora is questioning whether he had any intention to sell them altogether if he didn't say to the guy, can he make an acquisition? So even if he would have done a formal act of acquisition, such as a mashicha, let's say, a mashicha, yeah, but you need the mashicha that only works because the seller, the owner of him, says kani.
I'm confused. I thought he did say kani. Mishoch behema zu liknos kalim. He said liknos, to acquire. I don't understand what the Gemara is asking when it says, did he say to acquire? He did say to acquire.
Well, that's just it. The Gemara is saying this, that he said, this that the Moker told the Lokeach, that he should do a Mashicha in order to acquire the animals, in order to make an acquisition. In addition to that, he needs to say, Kani. And if he didn't say it, so Rashi explains that his intention is, I don't know why he said he decided he doesn't want to sell it to the guy, because in other words, it's not sufficient to say to the guy, Meshok behemazu liknos. It's not sufficient, to quote, says the Gemara. It's the Gemara is saying if the owner didn't say kani, so it signifies that Rashi says that he hasn't given him authorization to make the kinyan. You'll ask me, so why did he say do the Mashicha? What was he? He was playing a game with him? I don't know. Yes.
Well, no, I would ask, why did he say liknos? In other words, it seems like it's saying he had to say liknos and kani. He had to say acquire twice. You had to ask, why isn't it once enough?
The way they seem to understand the Rashi is that Rashi is saying that if the liknos, if the seller does not say kani, if he doesn't say kani, so the only thing that happened was that the seller is saying to the buyer, "Oh, you'd like to acquire this, wouldn't you?" So this that it says liknos, he's saying, "Oh, I see that you'd like to acquire this. That you have an intention to make an acquisition. But as for me, I'm not. I don't have that intention that I should that I'm giving you authorization to make such an acquisition." That's how the Gemora. That's how Rashi. That's how Rashi is to be understood over here. Rashi's explaining the. In other words, Rashi's bothered by the same question all of us are bothered by. I think Rashi has your question, Lou. Rashi's saying, what's the Gemara talking about? What does he need to say kani for? He told him, make a mashicha, liknos, to acquire it. So Rashi's saying, no. That's exactly what the Gemara is saying is not the case. Liknos, this that the seller said to the buyer, make a mashicha liknos to acquire it. What does that imply? That implies only that he's saying to him, yes, you, I understand, you have an intention to acquire. But me, I don't have intention to give you authorization to do so. In the absence of him saying, in the absence of the mocher saying kani, we're left without the clear indication from the mocher that he has intention to sell and to cause the guy to make a kinyan. So therefore, that's why the Gemora now adjusts the statement of Rabbi Elazar. In other words, the Gemora had initially that the case is that the seller says to the buyer, "Meshoch behemazu liknos," and what's the din in that case? So the Gemara corrects it and says, "Liknos." Oh no, that's not a question. That's no question at all. Because if he didn't say kani, so obviously he doesn't even have any intention for him to acquire it all, the seller. So now, right after that, take a look at what the Gemara does. The Gemara says, Ella means, oh, you're right. We made a mistake over here. We've got to change what it was what Rebbe Elazar was saying. It must have been that Rebbe Elazar said the following: Mishoch behemazu ukni kelim she'aleha mahu. What's the din in that case? So now we got the right statement that the seller said in order to have our question. He did say kani, and we still got a question. Does it work or not?
So in one case, he says lignot, in the other case, he says kane.
Right. I would, right. And the Gemora is saying that if all he said was lignos, then that's no question at all. That's definitely not going to be he can't make an acquisition like that. So rather we have to understand that Rebbe Elazar is posing his question if in the case where the seller said ukni, do an act of mashicha on the animal and acquire for yourself the kelim that are on the animal. That's the question that the Gemara says that Rebbe Elazar must be asking. Oh, now we got a real long Rashi over here about Mikani Kalim. Oh, is that weiter?
I don't see it.
Oh. No, I see it weiter. It's the language of Amarava. Amarava. Iamarle Kani Behemo Kani Kalim Mikani Kalim. Okay, so that's later. That's later on. So we're still going in the Gemara over here. So that's what the Gemara is adjusting to say so far. Ella meshot behemazu ukni kelim shaleha mahu. What's the din in that case? And then the Gemara presents what's the question all about? Mimahanya meshicha de behema laknuye kelim olo. Granted, now that the seller has intention to cause the buyer to acquire the kelim, but now the question is, does it work? Though, does it work technically? And the question is, can you do a mashicha on the animal, and that will cause the buyer to acquire the kelim that are on the animal? Maybe it works, but maybe it doesn't work. Okay? That is the Gemara's question now.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, Phil.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
All the best.
Good Shabbos, Phil.
Okay, take care. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Be well.
Hey,
See you, B'ezrat Hashem, Yom Rishon.
Amen.
Bye, Alan.
Okay,
See you tomorrow.
right.
Okay.